Go further with the American Express Business Gold Card. Earn 3 times membership rewards points on flights and prepaid hotels when you book through AmexTravel.com. Whether your destination is a business conference or a client meeting, your purchases will help you earn more points for future trips. Experience more on your travels with Amex Business Gold. Terms apply. Learn more at americanexpress.com/business-gold. Amex Business Gold Card. Built for business by American Express.
This episode is brought to you by State Farm. From your morning podcast to your afternoon playlist, State Farm knows you personalize your entire day. And that's why State Farm helps you personalize your insurance with the State Farm Personal Price Plan. It offers coverage options that help protect what you care about most at an affordable price just for you. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. Prices vary by state. Options selected by customer. Availability and eligibility may vary.
Every cup of Nespresso coffee is an invitation to transform your morning routine into a ritual you can treasure each and every day. Using the Virtuo Pup, a simple touch of the button freshly brews bold aromas and a rich, velvety crema layer for delicious cafe-quality coffee at home. Whether you enjoy your coffee hot or over ice, every sip, every morning is unforgettable. Nothing tastes like Nespresso coffee. Visit Nespresso.com or our app to explore our full range of easy-to-use machines and coffees not found anywhere else.
I think I just won my taxes.
Yeah?
I just switched to H&R Block in about 1 minute. All I had to do was drag and drop last year's return into H&R Block, and bam, my information is automatically there.
So I don't have to go digging around for all my old papers to switch?
Nope.
Sounds like we just leveled up our tax game.
Switching to H&R Block is easy. Just drag and drop your last return. It's better with Block.
Welcome back to the Skating Penguin Network, everyone. It is Robbie, joined by Snail. As always, we have another recap episode here tonight. But before we dive into this Penguins Blues contest, we will throw to Snail in Seattle. Snail, I don't know about you out there, but it has been spring here in Western PA. Just a beautiful couple of days. How is it out there in the Pacific Northwest?
It's nice. You know what we got right now, though? That's fortunately it doesn't really affect me. But what we have is the pollen. The pollen.
Yeah, we're not quite there.
I think out here we had a stretch of days where it was like I think it tricked some of the plants and it started pollinating a little early because right now like car windshields looks like a dust storm. Like if the wind blows, you'll just see like clouds of it. I have a outside area at my house, like outside it's like a tile and I shoot pucks. Mm-hmm. All my hockey pucks are it looks like just a dusting of sand over all of them. Yeah. So fortunately, like I said, I don't suffer from that, but I know there are people that do suffer from that at this time of year, and it's hell out there for them. Like it is. Oh yeah. I was just at Bartell's, which I don't know if you have them out there, but Bartell's CVS, like a drug. It's a drug store.
Okay.
I was in there picking up some stuff, and right now it's like, like when it's summertime, they've always got like the barbecue stuff out on like an island. Right now, their little island that they're like selling is just Dayquil, NyQuil, cold and flu meds. It's just the whole 9 yards for those people. So sorry does that stuff affect you, Robbie, or do you have a normal immune system?
Mine's more grass. So like cut grass.
Does it make you itchy?
Yeah, I like, especially in the spring, like when it's still wet. If it's the summer when it's all dry and stuff, it's not too bad. But that freshly cut wet grass, like my eyes will start watering, and I can tell that I need to like get inside or something because it just drives me crazy. That's what gets me worse than about anything is the fresh cut grass.
Is that called hay fever?
I think so. I don't know. I've never really because I just chalk it up to allergies, so I just kind of deal with it. There's nothing really like, it's not a cold, like it's no virus. Like I kind of just maybe pop a cough drop and just hope that it goes away quickly is really my strategy.
That's nice. Dude, I couldn't imagine just being haunted every single year when spring comes. You're just like eyes swollen, itchy. Like you might as well have like a permanent cold for like 3 weeks. Yeah. Fortunately, that's not the case. But that's what's going on out here. Spring is here out in the Pacific Northwest. I don't think we're going to have any temperatures even getting close to freezing anymore, which is nice. The Mariners suck, but I'm like hyped for baseball. I always get a little optimistic this time of year. I'm like, yeah, maybe we'll head down to the ballpark in a month and check out the M's. But the M's ownership group they're war criminals in our eyes. So
that's what's like being a Pirates fan.
Yeah, I think we kind of share that across the country from each other. Our baseball teams are just like really sorry excuses for front offices. But baseball will come soon enough, Robbie. The Penguins are on a 3-game winning streak right now.
Yeah, for the first time since Thanksgiving weekend. I had to go back and look at it.
Remember Thanksgiving weekend? We had optimism. We were like, maybe they'll sneak in this year.
We had belief. It was a desperate St. Louis Blues team coming into Pittsburgh tonight. But the Penguins are the team that walks out with the victory, 5-3 in a rather entertaining hockey game.
Mm-hmm.
The Penguins led by 2 for a while, but credit to actually led for 2 most of the night until St. Louis started to chip away and come back a little bit. But we'll get to the scoring here just to get it out of the way.
Brace yourselves, people.
Yeah, there's a lot. You're going to hear some names here that you don't expect, and one that you will expect, actually. Scoring. First shot of the game by the Penguins. For once, the Penguins' first shot of the game goes in the net. It is by none other than Ryan Graves. He got his first point a couple weeks ago. Now he gets his first goal of the season. And credit to Jordan Bennington for being complete dog doo-doo until he was yanked in this one. But he lets basically a harmless wrister from Graves in. It is 1-0, just 2 minutes and 17 seconds into the game. And it remained that way until 2:20 of the second period. The new guy on the block, Connor Timmins, gets his third of the year. It's Heinen and Philip Tomasino getting some assists here.
I was throwing shrapnel at him not that long ago. Now he's lighting the lamp for the Penguins, so just making me eat a bit of crow.
Yeah, so he gives the Penguins a 2-0 lead. That 2-0 lead becomes 2-1 when Zach Bolduc scores on the power play, his 12th of the year at 11:35. But the Penguins bounce back and build that 2-0 or that 2-goal lead back before the end of the second period. It is another new guy. It is Connor Dewar, his first of the season, from Blake Lizotte and Erik Karlsson at 17:42. And again, it is a 2-goal lead for the Penguins after 2 periods. So they do extend their lead from the first. Early in the third, Dylan Holloway gets the second power play goal of the night for the Blues. Not a great night for the Penguins penalty kill. They go 0-for-2. But Holloway from Falk and Jake Neighbors makes it 3-2. But once again, the Penguins are there to answer, and it is the 30-goal man himself, Rickard Rakell.
Yep.
At 7:15. It makes it 4-2 Penguins. Sidney Crosby, the all-important point. Matt Grzelcyk gets another assist, and it's 4-2, and the 2-goal lead is restored. But shortly after that, Alexei Toropchenko scores a dandy of a goal, walking right down Broadway and burying it past Tristan Jarry at 8:56 to make it 4-3. But unlike the other night, the Penguins do not give up a late goal. Instead, Snail, you hit this one on the head earlier in the season. Actually, before the season, he said, how many goals would Rickard Rakell score? Well, with 14 games left in the season, Rickard Rakell hits Snail's prediction of 31 goals into an empty netter here. Crosby, his second point of the night. Russ gets on the score sheet. It's 5-3, and that's how the game ends. But congratulations to Snail. Snail had Rickard pegged at 31. So he's at least at 31. Everything from here in Snail's book should be a bonus. I think now, 14 games left. Let's get the push for 40 on here. I'd say let's just go full bore, getting some of these numbers up. Rakell has never scored 40 in his career. His season high, his career high for goals in a season is 34. So he's 3 away from tying that. And that was all the way back in 2018. So, quite a ways. This is the most he scored with the Penguins. His previous high was 28 during the 22-23 season. His first full season in Pittsburgh, he scored 28 with the Penguins. He's actually now only 2 points away from his high with the Penguins. He would need to go on a complete tear the rest of the way here to get a new career high in points. He had 69 points in that 2018 season. Nice. So he would need, I guess it's doable. He would need, he's at 58. He would need 11 points over the next 14 games to tie that. So let's see if we can get some career highs set here. Crosby obviously pushing for the Gretzky record. He needs 8 points now. Brian Rust is still sitting on Brian Rust was credited with the first Raquel goal for a hot moment, but he's at 21 goals. Going to be a big push to get him to 30 at this point. But hey, that top line's cooking, and when they're cooking, they're scoring goals. But the more important thing tonight, the Penguins, all of a sudden, again, not even going to get hopes up. It's way too late in the season. 14 games.
Don't go
not
there.
Not even going there. Not going to relive last season. But the Penguins, there's heart, man. There's heart.
I don't know where it came from, but I think, God, yeah, I never thought I'd say this, but like maybe Jari coming back and battling in net has kind of sparked this team a bit. I think some of these, I don't know if there's metrics you can measure this with, but it seems that anytime there's a departure of players and new players that come in, there's always a boost, kind of like a new coach bump, Yeah. I think that I think that's what's happening right now. The players that they inserted in their lineup, I called Connor Timmins an AHL defenseman. He's a young defenseman. He's a right shot, and he's actually not that bad. Like his details are actually pretty good. That Connor Dewar, that fourth line has been missing a guy like that Dewar, who's got a little bit of tenacity and grit, but he's fast and he goes to the net. Blake Lizotte has been stuck playing with Noel Achari, who's got cinder blocks attached to his skates, and Matt Nieto, who's the most vanilla fourth liner I think I've ever seen in the NHL. And he finally gets a guy that can kind of keep up with him speed wise. And Connor Dewar scored a beautiful goal tonight with Lizotte. So it's like, I think you're seeing some things clicking together here that I don't know if you want to put we all know where the Penguins are. We don't want to put too much stock into it, but it's a hell of a lot better than watching a team just lose 4-0 every night. I had one more little tidbit I saw tonight. I don't know who to give credit to with this, but it disappeared back into the timeline that Rickard Rakell is the 5th Penguin not named Sid or Gino to score 30 goals. He joins Chris Kunitz, James Neal, Phil Kessel, and Jake Gensel.
Yeah. That does make sense. Yeah. So
did Stahl never score 30?
Nah. His first season, he got close. Let's see, Jordan Stahl. No, yeah, his rookie season, he scored 29. And then he has a 27 and 28 with the Penguins.
Wow, hovering right around.
And then another 25 with the Penguins, but he's never really his 25. He scored 25 in 2011, 2012, which was his last season with the Penguins. That was that's the highest he has not scored that many. He's only reached since leaving Pittsburgh, he's only reached 20 goals one time.
Well, Carolina definitely didn't
Twice,
have Carolina's, even when they were good, has never had the firepower that the Penguins have had.
Yeah.
I mean, Stahl at third line center was like an embarrassment of riches.
It was. Yeah, and he was so that third line was such a that third line of Tyler Kennedy, Matt Cook, and Jordan Stahl was so crucial to what the Penguins did, especially in that 2009 Cup run, and even in 2008 before they really took that step to winning a title. That third line was so important, and Jordan Stahl was the anchor on that third line. And he scored 29 his first season in Pittsburgh. How many guys do you think have scored 40
in Pittsburgh?
Since I can tell you who it is. I can tell you who it is. Yeah,
isn't it just Jake Gensel?
And
Jake Gensel and like, and we're not named Sid or Gino.
Yeah.
Phil?
No, it's James Neal. He scored exactly 40 one year.
James Neal scored 40 one year?
He did score 40. I do remember that. Yep. I just looked it up.
What year was that 2013?
2012. That was the same year that it was the year after he came to Pittsburgh. It was the year he scored one goal like his entire time when he got traded over to Pittsburgh, and then he scored 40 the next year.
Wow. I know he was like great on like Gino's wing and like on the power play, but I didn't know he had 40.
He only scored, and then after scoring 40, he only scored 30 one more time in his career.
Was that with Pittsburgh or was that
no?
Nashville?
That was Nashville.
Nashville. Yeah, he was good in Nashville, man. He was their big gun when Penguins played them in the Cup final that year.
Kessel doesn't have a 40-goal season.
He never got 40?
Nope, he got 37. He got 37 1 year at Toronto. In Pittsburgh, he went 26, 23, 34, and 27.
26, 23. Yeah, well, that's still a hell of a run, though.
Like, yeah, absolutely.
I'm trying to think. For some reason, I'm shocked that there wasn't other 30-goal scorers, but I guess now that I'm, like Tyler Kennedy was never scoring that much.
No. Yeah, Kunitz. The only other name I would have possibly guessed at any point was Dupuis, but he didn't. Yeah, he didn't get it.
Well, Rusty's been close. Rusty's
been close a couple times.
We were like every year we're like, is this the year he gets 30?
Rust has
21 right now.
Yeah, but he had his high is 27. That was in 2020 when the season ended after 55 games.
Yeah, I know. He was gonna
absolutely blow past that. He had 28 last year. So yeah, I mean,
he had that hand injury last year.
I still think he's gonna get it at some point. I still have faith in Brian Rust.
Will it be in the Penguins uniform though?
Yes, I think Brian Rust is the third most likely Penguin on the roster to end their career in Pittsburgh.
The third most likely?
Yeah.
So right behind Sid and Gino.
Yeah.
Interesting. Yeah, I guess, God, I don't know what year it is. Sometimes in my head when we talk about the Penguins, I'm like, I don't know. Sometimes I think in my head, I'm like, oh yeah, like Cooney. Like I think about like all like their defense, like I'm like Dumoulin, and I'm like, wait a second, that's a distant memory. It's sometimes you ever feel like that?
It is. It kind of feels like a distant memory sometimes. It does.
I'm like, who the hell is on this Penguins team anymore? And I'm like, God, Ryan Graves, maybe because you might not ever be able to move that contract without giving.
Yeah, that might be the only hold up there. But no, I think Brian Rust ends his career in Pittsburgh.
I would like him too. I know.
I think he's one of the guys that truly understands like what the logo means. He's one of those logo guys. Like,
for sure.
I think he wants to be, because he could have, like, I think we mentioned this maybe I said it to somebody else. A guy he could have left for big bucks.
He could have
a couple years ago. He could have, and he signed like days after the season ended, like immediately.
No, he had no interest in leaving.
Yeah, he didn't even test the market. He was like 2 months away from that. I think it was the same year of Malkin and Letang contracts, and Raquel was in there too. He could have tested the market even. He didn't even get a chance to talk to other teams. He said, "I'm staying in Pittsburgh," and I think that means something to the people that run the team. I think Crosby loves playing with him. He won't get what the kind of haul that like a Gensel would, so it would not surprise me at all if Brian Rust retires in Pittsburgh. He's going to be 33 in like 2 months.
Wow, that's crazy. He's going to be 33.
Yeah, it feels like yesterday he was just
he's a fourth liner
playing like 40 games and then winning a cup. It's crazy career for that dude, but one of my favorite all-time Penguins.
Oh, for sure. One of the best. It's hard not to, impossible to not like. He's only making 5 and some change, I think.
Yeah.
Great contract, and he's a playoff performer. Like, you might overpay for a guy like that, knowing. Yeah. I mean, it's not like he doesn't produce in the regular season, but he's one of those guys that I could see someone signing him to like 6.5, and just knowing that you just get him through the regular season, and this guy's going to be scoring big goals for you in the playoffs. That's all those 2 cup runs the Penguins had. He was just a killer in the postseason.
He was absolute nails in the playoffs.
The Rusty
always
Razor.
has been. Yep, always has been. And I'm super glad that we got to experience the Brian Rust era in Pittsburgh. But no, I mean, we kind of totally drifted off the Penguins game. You can tell where we're at in the season and where the Penguins are at. That we talked a little bit about the game.
Bob
and now we're just like reminiscing about good times. But no, I mean, they're showing heart. Tristan Jarry was pretty good again. You can't really blame him too much on the goals against tonight.
Yeah. I mean, the Penguins don't help him out a lot defense-wise. Like, if you look at the shots on goal at the end of the first period, it was like 15-6 shots on goals. Penguins had 6. And I was like, this is going to be a 45 save effort for this guy at the end of this game. I mean, that's too many shots on goal. If you're giving up, I mean, I can see 30. 30 is like probably pretty typical, like what, 50, but like when you're starting to creep north of that, especially in like a first period and it's 15-5, 15-6, it's that lopsided. I mean, Jarry's having to really stand tall in there, and he's, I don't want to say he's fragile, but he's just come up from the minors after having the worst season of goaltenders in recent memory. It's just tough. They're not helping him out very much. But yeah, he's showing heart, and I think the team's feeding off of that for sure.
I do have some bad news to report for you, Snail. The Penguins' 4th goal has been changed to Brian Rust.
No way.
Yes.
They took it like after the game. They took it away from Raquel.
Yes, has been officially changed in the box score by the NHL. Brian Rust from Rickard Rakell and Sidney Crosby. So Rust is now 22. Raquel drops to 30, so we're hopefully at some point going to give you a second congratulations.
Yeah, we'll just celebrate it again.
We have nothing else to celebrate. We'll just celebrate.
¿Hablas español?
Sprichst du Deutsch?
Kann du Norsk?
If you've had that sound from Babbel before, I bet you do. Babbel is the science-backed language learning app that actually works. With quick 10-minute lessons handcrafted by over 200 language experts, Babbel gets you on your way to speaking a new language in just a few weeks. With over 16 million subscriptions sold and a 20-day money-back guarantee, just start speaking another language with Babbel. Right now, up to 55% off your Babbel subscription at babbel.com/Spotify podcast. Spelled BABBEL.com/Spotify podcast. Rules and restrictions may apply.
This episode is brought to you by Atlassian. Atlassian makes the team collaboration software that powers enterprise businesses around the world, including over 80% of the Fortune 500. With Atlassian's AI-powered software like Jira, Confluence, and Loom, you'll have more time to do the work that matters. In fact, Atlassian customers experience a 25% reduction in project duration per year. Unleash the potential of your team at Atlassian.com. Atlassian.
Hey guys, back at the playground again, huh?
Yep. You know what this playground could use? A wine country.
Heck yeah, and some waves, so we could go surfing.
Oh, yeah. Love that.
A redwood forest would be cool.
I'm in.
Ski slopes.
Let's do it.
Can a girl go shopping?
Yeah, baby.
Wait! Did we just invent California?
Discover why California is the ultimate playground at visitcalifornia.com.
Look around. You can find cars like these on AutoTrader, like that car riding your tail. Or if you're tailgating right now, all those cars doubling as kitchens and living rooms are on AutoTrader too. Are you working out and listening to this ad at the same time? Well, multitasking pro, cars like the ones in the gym parking lot are for sale on AutoTrader. New cars, used cars, electric cars, maybe even flying cars. Okay, no flying cars, but as soon as they get invented, they'll be on AutoTrader. Just you wait. AutoTrader.
Rickard Rakell getting that number again, but no, it has been changed.
I just start following him around game to game, like Gretzky will with Ovi, just waiting for goal number 31.
Yeah. Do they have like a number like when he's going to start like following him around? Like,
yeah, they said when he gets to within 5 goals.
5 goals, okay.
And I think he's 9 away.
So yeah,
so he's a good weekend away from Wayno, just like hopping on a private plane every other night, following him around. I mean, Ovi could score 5 in a game. Like, you know what I mean? It could happen. It, like, as much as I think we kind of joked about. I will just put my hand up. I was kind of making fun of Ovi in the beginning of the season, being like, yeah, that dude's like really out of shape. I would be surprised if he scores, 10 this year the way he looks. And I mean, he broke his leg and came back early and just scored his first game back. He's going to have like one of his best offensive production seasons of his career at the age of 39. It's insane. But yeah, like, dude, I can't believe that this year we're like talking about Gretzky's record. A big year for Washington. As much as you have to hate it as a Penguins fan, like that's a big year. They're like, could they win the President's Trophy?
They're in the hunt. It's pretty much them and Winnipeg, I think. That really have it. Washington is 94 points. Winnipeg is currently at 94 points. So yeah, I mean, it's pretty much nobody else is within. The next closest team is Vegas and Florida with 85. So yeah, it's pretty much Dallas is 86, but yeah, it's going to be pretty much a dogfight between Washington and Winnipeg down the stretch here to see who can get that President's Trophy.
I will say this about Washington: they're having a great year. They're going to they could win the President's Trophy if they remain, I would say like par for what they've been doing. But I will say, out of all those teams you name that are in the hunt for the President's Trophy, I think I trust Washington the least in the playoffs. For some reason, it just kind of stinks. I'm like, I don't know. I don't know about all their players coming together in the playoffs. I mean, I could look like an idiot in like a month or a month and a half. But I just think that like they're just not battle tested enough for me in the postseason. I could see them being a first round exit. And
I just don't. It just feels like all the hype is around one thing with that Washington team.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, Spencer Carberry's done a fantastic job down there. Their goalies have been rewarded with contracts, and they are a good hockey team. Dude, the Metro Division is just not good anymore.
Dude,
like
what?
It was.
The Metro was the powerhouse at one point, wasn't it?
Yeah. It was. Again, it goes in cycles.
It does.
It's cycles. I still think the champions coming out of the West.
100%.
This year I have a different feel. Florida, at some point, these two cup runs are going to catch up to the legs. You kind of saw it with the Penguins.
Waiting for that to happen.
Yeah, luckily the Penguins got two cups out of it, but you could see in that third run.
Two real cups.
Yes.
Full season. 82 game season,
yes.
Overtimes in play, real cups. Tampa, I'll say this till the day I die. Those cups, yes, they count. They deserve. They won. They did win, but shortened seasons, not the same.
Yeah, the back-to-back, they won back-to-back, but the Penguins did it on full seasons. They definitely, from an exhaustion standpoint, it's a completely different monster. They can hang the banners, they can celebrate, they get the rings, but I'm still going to hold the Penguins back-to-back as a bit loftier than Tampa Bay, just for the fact that the exhaustion factor.
Factor, then they did get to the second round the next year, and people like to talk about Tampa getting to 3. I agree. Amazing feat. But still, if you look at Hockey DB, the amount of games played, it's not the same as the Penguins. I think that I will always hold, and call me a homer. Maybe I am biased. I think there are times where I'd watch Tampa Bay and I'd say, why do you have a hockey team in Tampa Bay? But they were a well-constructed team. Vasilevsky was God mode in those. We'll never know, but yeah, I think I hold the Penguins back-to-backs in much higher regard than I'll ever with the Florida teams. I mean, Florida didn't win back-to-back, but they got their back-to-back. But sorry, I forgot what we were even talking about. I just get fired up when we talk about those Stanley Cups.
Another fun little note that came out of tonight's game against St. Louis from Seth Rohrbaugh on Twitter. Ryan Graves moves into a tie for 19th most goals on for the Penguins this season. He moves into that tie with Alex Nedeljkovic.
Holy smokes, he's tied with the goalie. Well, they both have an assist and a goal, right? Ned might.
Except Ned did it in the same. Ned might have more than. But remember, Ned did it in the same game. He came up with almost like a Nedeljkovic hat trick. I don't like. Can you even look up offensive stats for goaltender? I can't even.
They do. I think. I swear to God, they're there. I swear I've seen it before. It's just not in the place you'd think it is when you're looking down the rows of statistics.
Yeah, I'll find it here somewhere. I probably won't find it until after we end this episode. But
I'll ask you this too. Like, I think in two of the games that Jari's played out of the 3 since coming back up, he's had chances at an empty net to score. Would it be in bad?
Oh my gosh!
Would it be in bad taste for him to try to score a goalie goal the way the season's gone for him, or would you applaud it?
So funny. I'd applaud it. Just own it, dude. They're so rare. Just do it. I don't care. There's so much bad to talk about this season, dude. I want every goalie to just be taking shots at empty nets. Just do it. Let's have some fun. Make these last 14 games worth it.
I like that. I like that because part of me thought when he had the puck, he looked like he was squared up and he could have shot it a couple of times and he ends up passing it. Plays it safe, they called it. I just can't help but think like, man, I don't even know. Just with the way the season's gone, like, could you imagine Jari coming down the handshake line after scoring and it's like his first game back up from the minors? Like,
that'd be really
I don't know.
funny.
It would just have been, I'm like, how would that really be received by his teammates? But I like your take on it. This season it has just been lots of ups, lots of really lows, lots of deep downs, horrible parts of this year for Jari.
I mean, he got waived. Like, that still happened. Like, he got waived. Like, the last 3 games don't change that.
And he got lit up in the minors. Like, he got waived and he let in the first shot on goal in Wilkes-Barre maybe 2 or 3 times.
Yeah, and speaking of goalies in Wilkes-Barre, you texted me earlier. I saw it last night. Speaking of predictions that we made, Sergei Murashov cannot be stopped. 8-0 in the AHL this season. Beats Hershey last night in a shootout to preserve that perfect record.
And Hershey could be in the NHL.
Hershey's a darn good hockey team. They're probably Calder Cup favorites for a 3rd year in a row. Sergei Murashov, I said a couple weeks ago, opening night next year, Sergei Murashov's in goal. Holding on to that because Murashov looks like a star in the making, which, man, again, would solve so many problems.
Oh, yeah. I mean, yeah, absolutely. It would just bring some peace of mind because he's going to hit bumps in the road. He's not going to be perfect from here until he retires. But you know that, like, there's some meaning there that this guy's getting a look because he was 8-0 in the age. Okay, what about this? Let's just get ahead of ourselves here for banter's sake, for the listeners. Like, what if the Wilkes-Barre Scranton Penguins win a Calder Cup and Murashov's the reason why? Like, what do you call, like, the Conn Smythe for the Calder Cup?
I have no idea. I don't know if it's just, I have no idea.
They might not even have a name for it down there. But if that's if something like that pops off, I mean, he has to get a look in camp, right? Like, he has to. Like,
I mean,
he would be the best goaltender that they have.
Yeah, you don't know exactly what the goaltending will look like through the with what changes happened this offseason. But you have to think at minimum, you're looking at, man, you have to think that they're going to do everything they can to move Jari. Keep playing well, kid, because you're just bumping up that trade value for something. Nedeljkovic, I could see being moved. Nedeljkovic, that's like a 50-50 for me. Wouldn't surprise me either way if he's back or if he's gone. Blomqvist and then Murashov, and who knows with, like, Larson and all that, what else goes on there. But you have to like, with the goalies you're going to be walking in, unless you swing some kind of trade or something, I don't know. You have to think that Murashov is going to be right in that mix to be the starting goaltender for the Penguins in next season. Just looking at, just doing the math at the roster, what we're looking at.
Yeah, I'm gonna say I'm a little bit disappointed that Philip Larson didn't get a look at some point because he was playing so well.
Yeah.
I really, there has to be some conspiracy there, or it's as simple as, like, I don't know what I'm still unclear about this kind of stuff, but, like, would they be afraid of losing him on waivers type of deal? Like, if they had to send him through, if they wanted to send him back down.
Who's that?
Philip Larson.
It could be, because again, especially now the trade deadline's passed, he would come up and look really good. You would absolutely probably risk that happening because somebody be desperate for a goalie would be out there trying to do whatever they can to get one.
Yeah, I'd like to see him get some action this year. I'd like to just see what we have in him at the NHL level because he has like tied for the most shutouts in the AHL or something like that. Dude, this whole team, the turnover, it just feels like Dubas has stepped into like a cyclone of just like, he's had to flip this roster like 6 ways to Sunday, it seems at times. And this year, there could be an argument that this year there's going to be the most turnover that he's had that we've seen from a total overhaul status. Like the decor is got to be remade and reshaped. Like he's going to be working the phones from Muskoka all summer. Or I don't know, maybe he lives in Pittsburgh full time now. Where's the Pittsburgh like vacation spot like in Pittsburgh? Where's the place that like the rich Pennsylvanians go?
The rich Pennsylvanians go. Let's see. He could go to
Latrobe.
No, not Latrobe. Okay. He could go to Nemacolin, which is a spa resort golf course kind of combination deal out. Not probably 30-40 minutes from Pittsburgh.
Oh, okay. Not far.
No, not far at all. He could go there. He could go hang out on Lake Erie on a boat.
There it is. It's probably the Great Lakes. There's probably some cabins out there. He's going to be busier than all hell out there working the phones. Like this goalie, the goalies in the defense, I think that there could be like an argument that it's the most overhaul we've seen. Like I know some guys it's going to be hard to trade. There's going to be some guys back, but I mean like, dude, you got to like, right? Like the decor, it can't be Jari, Ned, and then POJ and Graves and Carlson and Letang and what are they? Shazo, they call him. It's Ryan Shea. It can't be that. I cannot. If that's what it is next year, there's going to be some questions. You got to like. There's going to be a lot of turnover this year.
Yeah, You just if somebody takes a picture, just Kyle Dubas on one of them inflatable swans out in the middle of Lake Erie like 2 phones, 2 phones and like a laptop,
2 phones, a laptop on
and
his
a beer.
And a beer,
yeah, or whatever Kyle Dubas drinks. Just like chilling out there. His wife and kids are at some cabin. Like
we got to send Garrett to go scout him all summer. Like put a tracker in the back of his car and have Garrett like getting paparazzi of him.
Absolutely, that sounds like it's something Garrett to do. We'll tell him we'll pay him. We won't really, but we'll tell him.
We'll tell him we'll pay him, or pay him in like I don't know, Fortnite V-Bucks or something.
yeah. But for the Penguins, they win 5-3 against St. Louis. They are next up on Saturday, another afternoon game. A lot of those.
I hate that.
Yeah, a lot of those coming down the pipe here. Actually, though, it's looking like the last. I don't know. They have a couple in April, but the last one for a while. It is game 3 of this 5-game homestand. It is the New Jersey Devils, who the Penguins. Listen, if you're going to beat them, you might as well do it while you're hot because you can't beat the Devils any other time, it seems like.
And kick them while they're down. They're all Siegenthaler, Dougie Hamilton, Jack Hughes, all hurt, all out.
Yeah, all beat up. Isn't Markstrom hurt too?
I think Markstrom's hurt. I saw something that I think he's like day-to-day or something like that. God. This year they were like cup favorites because of the moves that they made with bringing in Markstrom and they brought in some other pieces. God, it's going to be Cody Glass. You think he gets a video tribute? It's in Pittsburgh. So do you think he gets a video tribute of his 4 goals?
Probably not.
Sometimes they do that. They're goofy and I don't know. It'll be funny to see. Also, former Penguin, I believe Daniel Sprong might. Does Daniel Sprong play for the New Jersey Devils now?
I have no idea. I did see he got traded. I can't remember where he got traded.
Yep. Right winger for the New Jersey Devils. So a little bit of a coming home party for some of our for some alumni. That'll be interesting. But yeah, like I said, Robbie, just kick them while they're down. Like make their life hell. I think that they're still firmly planted in a playoff spot, aren't they?
Oh yeah, they're fine.
Just give them a bad matchup, have them get shit kicked in the first round.
Yeah, just let them. Let's just try to
let them have it.
Guys. Yeah, they're 8 points clear of Columbus. Columbus probably ain't catching them. But
could they squander that?
I mean, you never say never with that many injuries.
Crazier things have happened, right?
Yeah, and Sheldon Keefe is their coach. So
he's known to choke.
Yeah, I mean, he was the Leafs coach all those years, so. But that is all I have, Snail.
That's all I got too.
All right. I don't know about Saturday this weekend for recording, but we do have Monday no Penguins game, so maybe
mailbag
and a recap of that Devils game if we don't get to it beforehand.
Yep, that sounds great.
All right.
Listeners that are still paying attention after this long rant of, like Robbie said, this is where we're at in the season. It's fun, more fun to reminisce on 30 goal scorers of old. But let's get some questions fired up, man. Like again, like it's all hockey related, but like Robbie and I obviously are where we're at. Throw us some like random stuff. Like let's talk about old Penguins. Let's talk about future Penguins. Tell us what's going on in your neck of the woods, and let's just really let's have a little what do they call that? Like a little round table, little water cooler talk.
Absolutely. Let's have some fun the rest of the season.
Let's do it.
So look out for the tweet. Get your mailbag questions in. Snell, you good?
I'm good.
All right. So for Snell, I'm Robbie. Penguins play on Saturday against New Jersey. Enjoy the game. Enjoy the weekend. Hopefully the weather's good where you are. And stay safe. We will talk to you guys next week.